In part 2 of the orientation video, I'm going to walk you through how we're going to be using Cengage now throughout the semester. This is where you're going to be submitting all of your lecture assignments, homework assignments, quizzes, and exams. So again, I'm sure most of you have used Cengage now before in Accounting 101 and 102, but I'm just going to kind of go over some of the highlights here. So for example, I mentioned you're going to have lecture assignments as well as homework assignments. So when you're talking about a lecture assignment, again, I've broken up every chapter into different learning objective groups. So you're going to watch some videos and then answer some questions. So for example, you'd click here on the Tell Me More Learning Objective 1 video, watch the video, and then answer those questions. Again, as I mentioned before, at the top of that detailed quiz, homework, and test schedule, I gave you some reminders. And one of the reminders is please do not hit the Submit Assignment for Grading button until you've actually done all of the questions in the assignment. So for example, this one has 5 questions. Once you've done all 5, then you can submit the assignment for grading. You can save your progress and exit and come back to it later. But please, if you have saved your work and saved your progress, make sure you come back in and actually submit it for grading by the due date and time. If it's only been saved, I can't actually access it. So you have to submit it to me in order for it to count for a grade. So please just be mindful of that. If you wanted to go back in one more time and review it before you submitted it, just remind yourself to do that so that it actually gets submitted to me. When you go into homework assignments, again, these are going to be problem-based for the most part. You're actually going to be applying some of the topics that you learned about in the lecture assignments. So when you're doing that, you will see that there are some resources up here for you. For example, there's a link to the ebook. So this is going to link you to the exact section of the textbook where this topic is learned about. So if we click on that, it's going to open right to that section, which is Learning Objective 2 of Chapter 2, and it's going to talk about that area. Again, if you haven't used an ebook before, this one is one of the best because it is interactive. So anything that's underlined, if you click on, will give you the definition. You can highlight in different colors. You can actually have the textbook read to you either by highlighting a certain section and clicking Read Text, or up here in the right-hand corner, you can just click that and it's going to read the entire page for you. You can also add a note. So if there was something that you thought was really important that you want to make sure you study for the exam, you can click there and it's going to save it right to that section for you. You can make the font size bigger or smaller. You can bookmark a page. You can print out a page. All of that information is included. If you want to see the overall chapter contents of a chapter, just click on this left-hand link and you can click into any section of the textbook that you want to get into. If you want to get back to the full table of contents by clicking that home screen, you can access that as well. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll find some different resources as well. If you want to search for something in the textbook, go back to the full book. Again, if you want to change something with how the textbook is read to you, you can change the speed. You can also change the voice of what is being read to you. There's a dictionary, the glossary. Every chapter has flashcards that are already been made for you, so you can quiz yourself. You can flip the card to get the definition. You can shuffle the deck, and you can actually create your own flashcard in here as well. And then under here, you'll find anywhere that you made a highlight or a note. So you can actually print those out if you wanted to have it as a way of studying for a quiz or test. You can go back in and look at what you highlighted or what you took notes on. So all of that is included for you under that little marker. And you'll see where you have your bookmarks and all those types of things. So everything is included in here for you in terms of the ebook, which is a great feature. So that is in here. Show me how. If you click on this link, it's going to open a video to show you how to solve a similar problem to the one that you're working on. So if you're getting stuck, take advantage of those Show Me How. There's a calculator built in, and you can also print out an item as well. Again, don't submit your homework until you've completed all those questions. Down here, you have the option to check your work, and I give you the 3 times to check your work per question. So you get 3 times for questions 1 through 6. And it's going to give you some feedback on questions that you've done wrong. So if you've done something incorrect, it's going to try to guide you to help you along. Also, if you're getting stuck on something and you've watched the Show Me How video and you've read through the ebook, and you've checked your work and read through that feedback as well, you can also click right here on Email Instructor. So if you click on this, it takes an entire screenshot of the question that you're working on and gives me an email box. So you can type me a question right in here and hit send email. That's going to go directly to my Northern Essex email, and I'm going to look through it, answer your question, and when I respond, it's going to go back to whatever email address you log into Cengage Now with. So if it happens to be a personal email, just be mindful that it's going to go back to your personal email address. I try to get back to everybody pretty quickly, definitely within 24 hours. So if you haven't heard from me, double check your spam or junk folder, because sometimes, especially with a personal email, it can kick my emails in there for the first time. So just be mindful of that. But no reason to try to explain the entire question that you're working on or send a cell phone photo. This is actually going to do it for you. So you can just click on that email instructor button and that will send that right over. Once you do submit your assignment for grading, again, it's going to give you a grade, and you can, for your homework assignments, go right into the grades tab. That's the top. So mine says grade book, yours will say grade. And you can click on the link for that assignment. It's going to open that assignment back up. It's going to show you the answers that you put in and also give you feedback on how to arrive at the correct answers. So if you struggled on something and you want to take the assignment again, before you take the assignment, go in and see what you did wrong, get some of that feedback, get some of that information, and then go ahead and take it for the second time. Under study tools, these are tools that are available to you throughout the entire semester. So again, you'll find the full ebook here. And if you click on adaptive study plans, that's going to give you some information for every chapter. So let's say we click on here and we click start studying. So when it opens up, the first thing that you are going to see are the learning objectives for the chapter. So you're going to see all of the learning objectives. And if you click on a learning objective, you are going to see learning objective specific resources. So the link to the ebook to that learning objective, the Tell Me More videos. These are the videos that I actually include in your lecture assignment. So if you want to rewatch them, you can do that. The Show Me How videos, those videos that are embedded in a lot of your homework assignments. If you want to watch those again, you can watch those here. Concept clips or videos, again, that are going to give you an overview of a certain topic. And then there are practice that you can do that are here for each learning objective. So if there's something specific you want to get more practice on before you go ahead and take a test, that's available for you as well. Up here, you can take a quiz on the chapter. So once you take a quiz, it's all multiple choice. And you'll answer the questions. And once you're finished, you'll hit submit your quiz. And then it's going to give you your progress. So up here, you see that every learning objective is red, which means that every question I answered, I got wrong. And they're going to give you some information about it. So here, learning objective 1, there was 2 questions. This was the question, that was the answer I put in, and what the correct answer was, and they give you some feedback. So it's going to give you that information. Once you do that, you can decide to retake the quiz, review some information. It's giving you what they call a personalized study plan. They're telling you, because you didn't do well on this first learning objective, you should probably take a look at the ebook and watch this Tell Me More video. For this one, same thing, ebook, Tell Me More, watch the Show Me How, and do some practice. So it's going to give you some information. And once you actually do one of these suggested items, it's going to turn this gray dot to green. And then when you retake the quiz, if you end up getting all the questions right for, let's say, learning objectives 1, 2, and 3, those red dots are going to turn green, and so will these bars. So you can really track your progress as you move along. So take advantage of those. Also, what you'll find when you get into your assignments, it's always going to default to assignments I can take now, but you'll see one that's called assignments I can practice now. So I have gone in and created additional practice separate from what you see in the study tools for every chapter. So it's called a practice set. It's not graded. You can take it as many times as you want. You can check your work as many times as you want. And it's purely there for your practice. So a lot of students have said it's one of their favorite resources before taking a test, so they feel like they're really confident with the material. So let's just say in this one there's 20 questions. You do not have to answer all 20 questions in the practice set. If there was this question that you really struggled with and you just wanted to go over this one over and over and over again, you can do that. So if you go in, answer the question, you've checked your work 4 or 5 times, you still can't get the right answer, you can hit submit assignment. It's going to say you didn't answer all the questions. That's perfectly okay because this is a practice. So it doesn't matter that you haven't answered all the questions because it's not being graded. So you can hit submit for grading. You can see your assignment results by clicking on view assignment results. And then when you go back to take that practice set again, every question in that practice set is going to regenerate with new numbers. So if you, again, just wanted to do that one question again, you could go in and do that question one more time, and it's going to have different information. So every time you submit it for grading, not when you save your work, but when you submit it for grading, it's going to regenerate new information. So there's an unlimited amount of practice that you can do with this. Again, Cengage Now is a wonderful resource, especially in an online class. You can see there's a lot of resources built in here. There's a lot of great study tools. But what I say to my students all the time, it's only great if you use it. So again, use your time wisely this semester. Schedule time to work on this course every week, not just the weeks that you have assignments. Figure out what time of a week works for you, whether it's weekends, days, nights. Figure out some time that you can dedicate to this class, because if you don't, you're going to fall behind very quickly and it's going to be very hard for you to get caught up. So don't put yourself in that position. And again, make sure you're getting those assignments done. Put yourself in a great position by the end of the semester to have that 30% of your grade be an A. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. If you're having any issues registering or anything like that, please let me know. Again, I look forward to working with all of you this semester. And again, get in touch with me if you have questions.